going to record the conversation about you getting hit by a car, the conversation about manifesting without all the woo-woo.
Or just record a conversation and then see where it goes.
Okay. Or like your podcast.
I don't have a podcast.
No, the podcast idea you were telling me about. Where it was like the two generations thing.
Oh, actually I did think about that. Okay.
Like that thing.
2 generations. But you're a boring person. I think if I put you on my channel, they'll boo me.
I'm a boring person. Interesting.
I'll get less than 1 view.
I don't know. If I'm wearing like the full ears and tail get up, then I'll at least get some rage baiting. And if you call me Ethereum like you've been doing.
I try not to rage bait. That sounds like a lame way to make money on the internet.
That's one way. I don't know. I mean, if it's gonna be like old people like you.
If all you're doing is rage baiting, then like you just have a bunch of people pissed off at you for no reason. Like, that's fucking silly. I
mean, hey, if it could be rage baiting, or it could not be.
People already hate me as it is. I like the authentic hate that I get just because of who I am.
It would be from me though. I would be getting the hate, not you. You're not the one wearing the ears and tail.
You can barely deal with fucking getting up to go to school. You can't do the rage bait. You mad? You didn't want to watch my views on the internet.
Listen.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just saying that I'm not a boring person.
I want to put
and that you could probably get views off of me if
I
were to do that.
Indeed. But what I'm saying is, as somebody who loves you and your father that cares about you, I never put you in that position where you would have to deal with that kind of a shit.
And you know what? I appreciate it. And you see how that's different from what you said before. Or like, you're a boring person versus I care about you and I don't want to put you in that position.
But you're a boring person. What? You ain't going into the if you're telling all that and bring a bunch of unwanted rage bait attention to yourself. See all those nasty comments. People go and dox you. All kind of fuck shit. And then they're going to overwhelm you.
A boring person. And we know the life that I've lived. Interesting. And my interests. I don't know. Me personally, I would think that I am more interesting, at least, than the people that go golfing for fun.
Golfing?
Yes.
What's golfing?
Golf.
Oh, golf.
Like with the club?
Well, those people do that to get away from their wives and make billions of dollar deals.
That's boring.
Getting away from their wives and making $1 billion deals?
Hitting a ball in a field that wastes water and is virtually useless for any other thing. Okay. Yes, I think that's boring. Or people that don't have any interests at all. And I have plenty of interests.
Like what?
I like rats. I can tell you a lot about rats. I think that's more interesting than someone that doesn't have things. I express myself more authentically than I had before. I think that's interesting.
Okay. How so? What is your authentic self?
What is my authentic self?
Well, you say you express yourself more authentically than you have before. So what is your authentic self?
Oh, I don't know. The ears and the tail. That feels more fun. Like going out experimenting with that. And like my fashion sense. I don't know. Not really worrying too much about I don't know. I feel like I'm more myself lately. Or like not lately, since I've made the active choice to stop being what I think other people want me to be. In terms of personality.
Hold up. When were you being what you wanted other when was the span when you were being what other people wanted you to be?
Growing up as a small child. I think it stopped when I was around 14.
Okay. Oh, so like a human being.
I'm like a human being?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Because that's what all people look for.
No, not to the extent where it's like you don't know who you are at all outside of what you have created for other people. And when it's actively draining on yourself. Like, I think that when it's a problem like that, and you're working on like repressing different areas of yourself or like not expressing yourself fully, that's when it's like, okay, get your stuff together. Like, not get your stuff together, but like there's something you want to look into there. Looking deeper into yourself.
But I think part of that is, yes, there is that. But I also think that that is also part of the human thing. Like, I think, you your story is complex, and you will tell it when you're ready to tell it, in whatever fashion you're willing to tell it. But God, look at my fucking bald, beautiful face again.
I'm just saying, like, to the point that, like, I would just agree to stuff because I thought that was what people wanted me to do.
Okay.
Like, if I were to think, like, the first example that comes to mind is just, like, literally any of the clothes that I was wearing. Not, like, all of that. I'd be trying stuff on, and you'd be like, oh, do you like this? Because, yeah, I like it.
That's not my experience with you. Shopping. Hey, can we get this dress? No. Please? No. Okay. You were always quick to tell me no.
Yeah, and I was with you for, like, what, 2 days out of the week?
Yeah. No, that's not true. Half of the week.
Half of the week.
Yeah.
For the time period I'm speaking of.
When you're a small child? Yeah.
Like, from, like, below 14.
Yeah. That's half of the week.
Okay, half of the week. You get that.
Ah!
But there were still other things. And it's like, it's an
Wait, after, below 14. Yeah,
below 14.
Yeah, it's half of the week. Because we do the weekdays and the weekends, remember?
Okay, then I stand corrected. You're correct.
Thank
half
you.
of the week. I still, because the thing is, it's a more abstract thing for me now.
Yeah.
Especially since I've moved more toward being myself.
Okay. You mean like you disassociate from those memories because you becoming more who you are, or?
It's not necessarily disassociating from the memories because I still think them. It's that the idea behind them and the behaviors that I had, that combined with my own experiences growing up from that time period, make it a little bit difficult for me to source and point out the evidence for what I'm saying. Where I'm like, okay, I know the fact of the situation is that I felt like I was wearing a mask for a lot of my childhood.
Yes.
And I was being and molding myself into what I thought other people wanted me to be.
But what I'm saying is that is human. Like, that is, everybody goes through that. What, like, being that face that they're fitting their role in whatever their family structure.
That's not what I'm talking about, though.
Just hear me. I know I'm getting to that part. And with that comes doing the things your parents want. Whether it's wearing the clothes your parents want, the haircuts your parents want, the friends your parents want you to have, any of that other stuff. Which is why every human being is an asshole in middle school. There's no human being in the history of mankind that wasn't a complete asshole between the ages of 11 to 15. Sometimes it reverberates further. But the peak of our assholery as a species is between 11 to 15.
Yeah. If you're talking from like a human development point where it's like, okay, you look to your family structure and you find out who you are in that and you operate from that, and then when you grow up into a teenager you start to find out who you are outside of that structure, then sure, that is a human experience and that is something that everyone goes through.
Yeah, that part.
Yes. And when it's to the extent that you have zero sense of self outside of those things, I feel like that's where the separation is. because people know who they are outside of that, and they feel connected to the version of themselves that they have put together. Or at least, and like, I'm not saying that, oh, I'm the only person ever that has experienced this, because obviously not. What I'm saying is that it's not necessarily the natural social development of a person that I'm referring to right now.
You're right. But it is, though. You know what I mean? Like, I think that you overestimate how many people are, like, fully aware of themselves. There's 60-year-olds out there that haven't faced themselves and the things that they should be facing and the things that should come up in that they need to address to make themselves better and whole and all of that shit. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And the fact that you identify with that struggle is still close to you in age wise. Like 9 years is not 29 years, is not 20 years, is not 15 years.
Relative to living 18 years of
Yeah.
your life.
No, that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. That's why. Because it's close, and it's a larger percentage of your life right now. Right? So like, however, you also, because of that situation, those situations, have a better understanding of yourself at 18 than most people do. Your struggle is that you ruminate, like you have all the answers, you just don't act on them.
I don't see where this connects to the conversation we were having just now.
Well,
I was like, I'm being more myself now.
No. But I'm agreeing with you, and I'm saying that you are reconnecting to that sense of yourself in a different way than most 18-year-olds would because of the extremes. So like, okay, going back to be more specific and getting off the tangent, right? If um had things not gone how they did, right?
Mm-hmm.
As extreme as they did with you. When you were 10 to 14, you'd have still rebelled. You'd have still chosen different clothes. You'd have still had different music. You'd have still decided different whatever. You'd have had different things you clashed with us about, with your family structure about. Because in the human journey, we all strive to define ourselves apart from our family structure.
Yeah.
So that's why we take all of our environmental influences and try and put that onto our personality and now try to bring them within the family structure. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I understand that.
And had you not been forced to address those situations in a really deep, meaningful way at a young age, at your point now, you'd still be at the point where you figuring out alcohol and whatever, all this other shit that teenagers figuring out.
No, I understand that.
Yeah.
I'm more like being, like, I don't know, being outwardly weird and standing out in that sort of way. Like I guess that's more what I'm referring to.
But that's where you lose me, because I think that nigga used to walk around with a rat on your shoulder.
Yeah, no, and that's
So
that's me after I'm 14.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Oh, so you're saying from 14. But you said now you feel like you're being more yourself.
Yes, I said that the time frame of me not being myself was 14 and
No,
under.
okay. So when you say you're feeling more like yourself, like, are you talking about these last 4 years, or are you talking about now?
I'm talking about these last 4 years.
Oh, okay. So I agree.
Thank you. I appreciate that that we finally got to an understanding there.
Okay, continue.
No. I'm more myself, and I'm happier. And because of that, I found people that genuinely fuck with me, and I don't have to worry about, like, people um, like sort of excluding me for one reason or another, in like subtle ways, or like putting in subtle jabs at me, or like not worrying about like, oh, if these people actually respect me as a person versus just keeping me around as like a little pet for them, right? And like I found people that I can genuinely thing with, and I don't have to worry about them. And like it's not necessarily them accommodating me, but it's just like them fucking with me and like doing whatever they do in order to spend time with me. Like I have friends that would enjoy going out to parties or whatever, and they know that or at least they have the perception, and or know, because I haven't been to a party, that I'm not a party person.
That's
outside
also,
of family. Outside of
okay, I was
family.
going to say, that's patently
Family.
false.
Family parties are different.
Okay.
Because family is versus like.
Strangers, I decided to say.
Yeah. I was gonna say. I have people that would enjoy those kind of spaces, and they wouldn't necessarily invite me to them because they know how I am. And if we were to be in a situation like that, if they noticed, and or if I went up to them and I was like, hey, I don't think I really want to sing here anymore, can we head out? They'd be like, all right, sure, let's go, and not have any issue with it, and it wouldn't turn into a whole big thing.
I got you. Well, you have to find people you're comfortable with.
Yeah, and I have, because I'm authentically myself, and that person I find is eccentric at the very least. And I don't know. I've never heard a person call someone who is eccentric boring. Quite the opposite, in fact. I don't know. I'm always told I'm such an interesting person.
Why? Why do you think you're interested?
I've been told it from everybody. Part of it is part of it was most likely people telling me to my face without telling me to my face that, oh yeah, you're weird as shit. Like, oh, you're interesting. type kind of tone.
Okay.
Other times it's genuine, like, oh. But I don't know how to explain that. Why do I think people think I'm interesting? I can't really define that because
I didn't say why you think people think. I said, why do you think you're interesting?
Oh, why do I think I'm interesting?
Yeah,
Look at me.
And the first thing you said was people say. So I was asking.
Oh, okay. Nah. Like, my basis of thinking I'm interesting is from the feedback that I get from other people.
Interesting. So you don't think you're interested. Other people think you're interesting.
I think I'm interesting because other people think I'm interesting.
Huh.
That's the way that... It's one of the ways that a mindset or like a belief about yourself can come. It's like, oh, you're hearing this, and you take that feedback and you internalize it.
That's dangerous thinking, though.
It's a natural human thing.
You are an interesting person. Like, let me be 1,000%. Like.
Oh wow, thank you.
Oh, shut up.
You said I was boring before.
Yeah, you are boring. But you're an interesting person.
Boring and interesting.
Are you? The dichotomy of you.
I don't.
You're a walking contradiction.
I don't see how I can be boring. Oh wait, I'm talking to you. Right. Sorry.
You ready to hear?
Yeah, sorry.
Because if you keep all your interesting parts locked away, then you're boring. Or mysterious.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Which is what the work has been.
So, you're very guarded. And because you're very guarded, which is why you have a tight circle, and your circle is, like, they fucks with you. Right? Because they accept who you are because you present yourself as you are in all situations, and you don't accommodate other people. Like you have your boundaries for yourself, healthy boundaries that you set for yourself, and you enforce them. And the people that respect your boundaries, you rightfully so keep them around and they're in your circle. They make their energies whatever, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
However, you mostly keep that energy locked up and bound up until you're around the people that you fuck with.
Mm-hmm.
So to most people, you're just weird or boring.
Okay.
But to your peoples, you're the shit.
Okay, I see what you're saying. And also that's where the work is. Because I've gotten a lot better at not doing that. And like being more, being more open about who I am and stuff like that.